People often take friendship for granted as it is something that can be easily acquired. A real friendship, however, requires lots of effort to put in. Time is there not for us just to make friends, but to understand the core value of friendship. I can rent you a friend. There was a gorilla who always thought he was so lonely and that he didn't have any friends at all. One day, he decided to stick a leaf into a tree which said, I can rent you a friend, but for the price of 5,000 dong each hour. And so, the gorilla waited by the tree. He kept waiting and waiting until his eyes were closed because of boredom. Right at the time, there was a girl named Mimi who was passing by. She stopped the bike as soon as she read what was on the leaf.
What do you mean by renting a friend?
Asked the girl. It means that I would play with you, but only if you pay me 5,000 dong and only for an hour, said the gorilla with his eyes wide open.
How long is an hour?
The gorilla pulled off an hourglass from his pocket. When the sand fully runs from the uppermost to the lower section of the hourglass, 1 hour will pass by then, he explained.
But I only have 1,000 dong. Can you make it any cheaper?
Mimi said with careful consideration. Sure, of course. The gorilla happily nodded. After that, he put the money that Mimi gave him into his pocket and started to turn the hourglass up.
Let's play rock, paper, scissors. Whoever loses gets stepped on the feet,
said Mimi with a joyous look on her face. But I don't know how rock, paper, scissors work.
Come on, we're running out of time. Hurry up. I count to 3 and you just have to put your hand out,
Mimi said while anxiously looking at the hourglass. She also put her hand simultaneously and played scissors.
I chose scissors while you chose paper, so I am the winner. Now you have to let me step on your feet.
Without any hesitation, Mimi immediately stomped on the gorilla's feet, leaving him still dazing on how to play the game. Ouch! Shouted the gorilla.
Did it hurt?
No, not at all. But I know how to play this now. It's so interesting. From that moment onwards, the gorilla would play paper and the girl would play scissors in every round. Therefore, his feet keep hurting due to all the stepping from Mimi. But since it takes forever to find someone to spend time with, the gorilla was hoping that the sand in the hourglass would flow a bit slower. The day after that, Mimi came to the gorilla place to rent his time again. The monkey continued to take her money and turn the hourglass upside down.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Mimi immediately pulled off scissors as the sentence ended, but this time the gorilla chose rock. Mimi lost. Now it's time for the gorilla to get his revenge. But when he was about to step on Mimi's foot, he saw her shutting her eyes and wincing. Of course, the gorilla had no choice but to be gentle. Mimi found it strange that she didn't feel any pain. The game was soon resumed. Mimi figured out that gorilla would constantly choose rock because he had won once by using rock. Then she just had to choose paper to win against him. The poor gorilla got stepped on all the time. Nevertheless, he didn't put into mind and played with the girl for so long that he didn't even notice that it was past the time limit. From that day, every day, Mimi would go to the gorilla place and she would get him 1,000 dong and would wait for him to put the money in the pocket and then turn the hourglass around so they can have fun with each other. There were days that they would chase each other around. There were days that Mimi would teach gorilla how to tell a story. There were days that Mimi would sit in the shade of the tree doing her homework next to the gorilla who would silently watch her. Even simply by being with Mimi has brought him so much joy and happiness. But there was also an afternoon where the gorilla brought a jar of cookies instead of his backpack with him like usual. He waited for Mimi by the tree. He kept waiting and waiting, but she never came. Suddenly, a car passed by. he saw Mimi poking her head out from inside her car.
I don't have any money left. And my family has to move out, so goodbye,
she shouted. The gorilla immediately ran after the car and shouted with all his strength, "But you haven't taught me how to pull off scissors." Mimi couldn't stay. The only thing she could leave behind was a doll made of fabric. The gorilla returned to the tree with a sullen look on his face. He thought to himself, "I didn't bring my backpack as well as my hourglass today. I also don't want Mimi to pay me anymore. I just wanted to share my cookies with her. Why didn't she want to leave?" As he was eating the cookies alone, he missed Mimi so much. After Mimi left, the gorilla once again stuck on the tree a leaf that said, "I can grant you a friend for free." Until now, even when the leaf was starting to fade, he was still patiently waiting for his new good friend to come. The end. It finally dawned on the gorilla that money can't buy friendship. On the contrary, friendship is a gift that we need to treasure. A good friend makes life more enjoyable. They would even help us in the most troublesome situations. Therefore, remember to love and appreciate the friends you have around you.